All right. How are you, everybody? So, thank you for those who join live, and thank you for those who watch it later at the academy. I want to talk about something that is really, really important. And I think that, you know what, let me start with a story. And I really have a friend to go to a vacation, and he's telling me for over a year that he wants to go to a vacation, and he still didn't go to the vacation. And it's not because he doesn't have the money. He went to getaways and stuff like that, but he didn't go to the vacation that he wants. You know why? Because even to plan a vacation, the very first thing that we need to decide is the destination. We have to be clear about the destination. Where are we going? Because I'm going to pack different if I go to the snow, if I go to the beach. I will travel differently if I need to a far place or a close place. You know, it will determine a lot of things in the process. It will determine a lot of things in how we do things, where we aim. When we have clarity about the destination, we can really get ready and prepare, and it will happen. And that's why I'm always saying that clarity is probably the most important thing that we can have. So every time that I have a new client, we first of all sit and discuss the clarity about what's the destination, where they want to be. And a lot of people, it's hard for them to find where they want to be. They want a lot where they are and where they don't want to be. But that's the paradox. How can you get somewhere if you don't know where you want to go? Make sense? So that's the reason why for Motivational Monday, I want everybody to really take, and it doesn't take 5 minutes, it doesn't take 10 minutes, really take time, invest in yourself. We're talking here about personal growth. We're talking here about really discovering tools for happiness. How can we be happy? So let me tell you something. I have a list of things that makes me happy. And I know that the more I do those things from the list, the more happy I am. And therefore, I'm really focusing on more and more of the list. But what if I don't have a list? And believe me, I add to the list a lot of things all the time. What are the things that makes you happy? Start to do more of them, and you will become happy. If you feel stuck in any way, whether it's career, whether it's money, whether it's family, whether it's relationship, whether it's wealth, it doesn't matter. If you feel stuck, we're here to help. We're here to help you reprogram your mind and really create an action plan. An action plan that you can then easily and effortlessly execute. Remember, when we have clarity about the goals, about the destination, we can start to think and reverse engineer, start to think about the end and start reverse engineer to see what we have to do in order to get where we want. We have to really understand how the life that we want for ourselves, what does it mean in everyday life, in everyday action? Because let me tell you, I do training, for example, for salespeople, and I can tell you, people that sells about $100,000 a month, and people who sell about $400,000, $300,000 a month, believe me, their day doesn't look the same. And if the person that makes $100,000 in sales doesn't understand what he needs to change in his daily life, in his daily routine, in his attitude, in his way of thinking, in the daily action, then how we will get to make 300,000? Does that make sense? So that being said, I want you to remember something really, really important. Take time. Invest in yourself. Take a page, a notebook, take a pen, and really write your goals. And if you want to be more specific and really dive into and really do a good job, write goals in all 6 areas of life, all 6 areas of life, which is spiritual, personal, career, money, relationship, and health. Those are the 6 areas of life. And what is the difference between business and money, career and money? The difference is that career is what we're doing to make the money. And money goals are what are my goals to do with the money? Whether I want to buy a home, to buy a car, to do investment, to do whatever I want to do, I have to have a goal and I have to start to accumulate money towards this goal. Now, another thing that is really, really funny is that most people don't take action towards their goals because the goal seems big and impossible. But remember what said Nelson Mandela, it's impossible until it's done. Remember that sentence, it's impossible until it's done. And when we really have a goal, something we want to do, we have to break it down into steps. And most people don't take the first step because the first step is not simple and achievable. So we have to break it into really baby steps that we will feel comfortable to take every step. And we have to have a picture in our mind how we're going to feel and what it will change, how it will change our life when we get what we want. Because that will be the motivation generator. Always to think about how my life is going to be. And how my life is going to be, let me tell you something. It's not only that I will have more money. It's not only that I will have whatever I want. Because in order to have more money, what do I need to do? I need to invest more time. I need to learn something. What do I need to do? What do I need to change in my everyday behavior and patterns and thinking? What do I have to change in my emotions? And let me tell you something. A lot of people, actually most of us, we have limiting belief and limiting decision that we're not even aware of. Why we're not aware of them? Because they are so deep in the unconscious mind, because were embedded in us in childhood. So we are not even aware of it. But those patterns running our life, those patterns of thinking, those patterns of behavior, those patterns of responding really run our life for good or for bad. They give us good results or bad results. And if we get bad results, that means that something is not correct. That's something that we're doing, that means that we're doing something wrong. And in NLP and in what I teach, there's nothing wrong. It's either we succeed or we learn. We take the feedback. We learn how to do it for the next time. There is no failure, only feedback. And this is exactly the state of mind that I instill in people that work with me, either one-on-one or in the groups. So you are more than welcome to join one of the groups, which is more affordable, or one-on-one if you really want to dive into change instant. But it's up to you to do the work. It's up to you to walk the way. I can show the way. It's up to you to walk the way, and I will hold your hand, walk you to the way until you have the confidence and you can do it yourself. How does that sound? So before we finish here today, I want to give you something for next week. So for next week, what I want is I want each and every one, really take a note. Write your goals. If you want, you can post it in the group. If you want, you can email it to me. I promise I will review them. And if you need help to set up goals, because remember, there is a difference between goals and dreams. I want something, it's a dream, it's a wish. I will do something, not even a wish, because the unconscious mind doesn't know future. I am doing. I am doing whatever it is that I want to do. I am going to the gym. I am eating different diet. I'm not on a diet. I'm eating different. Why? Because the diet has an expiration date. That's the reason why a lot of people that do diet gain the weight and even more after the diet is finished, because it has an expiration date. But if I change my diet, that's my new way of life, then it doesn't expire. I enjoy the benefit of that day after day after day. People, remember, we are what we repeatedly do. We are what we repeatedly do. So if every day I'm complaining and just playing video games and doing nothing to enhance my life, to enhance my career, to enhance my relationship, then who I can complain to? There is the song, The Winner Takes It All. There's a few lines in this song that I really love. The winner takes it all, the losing standing small. It's easy and it's plain. Why should I complain? Does complain ever worked for anyone? No. You know what works for everyone? Taking responsibility. Really looking at everything that happened to me in my life. What is my connection to that? What I could have done different in order to avoid any situation that happened to me. And we need to learn from that, because let me tell you something, and I tell that to my kids as well. The difference between life and school is that in school they teach us something and then they give us a test, and hopefully we'll pass the test. In life, it's the opposite. We have a test and hopefully we'll learn something from that. And if we didn't learn, we will have the same test, just in a harder level, until we will learn the lesson. And that's the reason why people go in loops, because they don't learn the lesson. They blame others, which we here come cause and effect, to be at cause and not an effect. But this is a whole different talk that we will have. To begin with, I want each and every one to really write down your goals. But only write it down if you really have the intention to do what you write. If you don't have the intention, don't write it. Why? Because it's a bad signal to the unconscious mind. It's like telling him, remind me to do something while you really don't want to do it. So when you're going to get reminded, you're going to dismiss it anyway. And the lesson that your unconscious mind will have is that he doesn't really need to help you to get what you want, because you don't really want it. And the problem that the unconscious mind will generalize it about everything in your life. Keep in mind, the unconscious mind is 90% of the brain. You definitely want to be congruent with your unconscious mind, with your conscious mind, with your thinking, with your action, with your behavior, with your word. You want to be congruent. Congruent means that all your thoughts, all your action, all your intention go to the same direction. And when all your intention and all your effort go to the same direction, then guess what? You're going to get there. And I'm not saying that everybody can change career just like that. I didn't. It took me time to change my career. I made progress. I made preparation. I prepared my new business before I closed my old business. I've been doing what I'm doing over 20 years. That at this time, for over 15 years, for over 18 years, I'm sorry, I've been doing also being a contractor. So yes, we can do a few things at the same time. And yes, we have to think, what could we do to take us closer to our goal? And here's another tip. The unconscious mind default is when we don't have anything to do, we will do nothing. And the nothing can be reading a newspaper or watching TV or playing on the phone or whatever. That is nothing. That doesn't take us anywhere. Just wasting time. I'm not saying we should not play here and there, and I'm not saying we should not read, and I'm not saying we should not be on the social media sometimes and look for funny videos or whatever. But that will not take us closer to our goal. So if you really want to go closer to your goals, every spare moment that you have nothing to do, you have to think, what else can I do that will take me one step closer to my goal? When this will start to be your state of mind, when this will start to be the way that you think about everything in life, you will start to see the change. And here's the thing, because the default is not to do anything when we don't have anything to do, That's the reason why we have to prepare a plan. So we have something to fall onto instead of falling to the default. So when we have nothing to do, we have a plan, what we can do. Now it's a conscious decision, whether I want to do something that will take me closer to my goal, or I just want to rest and play and do nothing. That's a conscious decision. And like I said, we are what we repeatedly do. Success, therefore, it's not a magic. It's consistency of doing the same thing, of practicing on the same thing. As a magician, I can tell you that it takes a lot of time to practice on something until it will seem as magic to the audience. It takes a long time, a lot of effort, a lot of what people call failure. I don't call it failure. It's part of my practice. How can you get better? What, can we do something the top of the line from the first time that you try it? No, we can't. And that's why I tell my son, he's 7 years old. I tell him, listen, Leo, it's not getting easier. It's you getting better. Whether it's on reading, whether it's on tying his shoes, whether it's on soccer that he plays, it doesn't matter on what. It doesn't get easier. He just gets better. Why? Because he practiced, because he put the time, because he put the effort. And if you will put the time, the effort, and yes, sometimes also the money. So sometimes we need to learn new skills. Sometimes we would need somebody to help us. Even I have coach. Why? Because I always want to keep my mind open. I never want to be stuck focusing on one thing alone. And sometimes it happens because we are busy with something. And I need somebody to help me to stay on track. I love my coach. Just the same that my trainees love me. Because I really push them to where they want to be. And you can read my Google reviews, my Facebook reviews, my Yelp reviews. You will find a lot of lives that I've changed. And that's the reason why I do what I do. To change people's lives. And I need your help. I really need your help. Because my mission is to reach 10 million people. And you see, I gave it for free. I want to reach 10 million people. I want to change more lives. So please, if you find value in this content, please share it. And if you find value in this content, please join again next Monday. It's free. It's on the free membership of the State of Mind Academy. The link is join.stateofmindacademy.com/free. So join us and really put the effort, really put the work. And if you have questions, feel free to email them or send them at the group. We're here to help. We are here to change people's lives. So thank you for being with us. Thank you for watching. And I will see you next Monday, same time, 1 p.m. Pacific time. Bye-bye.